All right. So, if you're just joining us, or if you joined us before I started, or no, not before, if you joined us before I started, impressive. If you joined us after I started, I'm Gregory Avery Weir. I am half of Futureproof Games. You can check out our stuff at futureproofgames.com. We've got a tabletop role-playing supplement coming out soon called the game is Rosette Diceless. The new book is the Rosette Diceless Companion. Contains new rules, play guidance stuff, new character options, and just sort of serves to share some of the stuff that we've learned in our time playtesting and continuing to play the game over the years, and options that we've been like, oh, this would be a nice thing to have in the game. And Rosette Diceless was in the itch.io bundle for racial justice that was huge last year. So if you got that, you have it already and should check it out. And another game that was in it was Fugue in Void, which I am launching right now. And which, hopefully, will, yes, show up. By Moshe Linka, who does a lot of neo-brutalist work. Has a cool project. It's their latest work. This is a story of my mind. This is my mind. Fugue in Void. I thought there were enough aesthetic connections between these two short games to put them together. Hopefully this one won't be a tremendous bummer, or this will be a sad, sad stream. Seem to be able to do anything with this. Yeah. Happy Monday. Is it getting bigger? Something's changing about it. Emporium was interesting. Hopefully this is interactive at all, or this will just be a... Thank you for updating the stream info. Could just be a watch along, I'd be fine with that. So at least as presented, this came across as like a first-person exploration-y sort of thing, exploring weird edifices. A genre which I am fond of, Cairo and Naissance and Cube and all sorts of other games. I guess I did one with A Ride Home. I don't know what I'm looking at. Light playing on some sort of surface. It did warn, like, there's not a lot of action in this game. I love the weird texture to whatever tunnel or passage we're going down. Feels like rotten. Almost has like a rippling feel there. Oh, no, it's a tower. Mm. As far as I can tell, I have not yet had the ability to affect this work. Which is fine. But just to be clear. Ooh, weird glitchiness. Those lines cascading down the tower. It's very hypnotic. I'm probably going against the spirit of this game because it's like played in a dark room with headphones and be calm. Oof. Probably also a flashing lights warning on this. That's basically like the opening of Oshiwari. Maybe this isn't interactive. These towers, I like the the challenge of scale here. Like, are these, how big are these things, these vertical shapes? All right, I got a scale reference there. There was a person on some stairs. Super abstract stuff. I get the impression that Linka does a lot of like gallery work and like uh, work in the modern art space and the intersection of game development and art that gets put in museums. This seems to fit that. This looks like embossed metal or thick foil. Okay, I'm totally still paying attention, but I'm double checking to check my expectations for this work. Ooh. Look at that. That looks like iron filings on a magnet or like the way that mercury and aluminum interact. Okay. There is a point at which interaction happens. Beautiful waves. Oh, hello. So this is like the other way you could have done that ocean from Emporium. That the bridge is going, oh, it looks like I'm in a walking sim now? Yes. Ooh, oh, look at the texture on this. It's great. So, definitely doing something very deliberate with pacing, right? Because that was, as far as even slow-paced artsy games go, that opening was interminable. And completely, like, seemed to be designed in a way meant to... I can run. That's also surprising. Seemed to be designed to reject interpretation. What is that sound? I also like that these are clearly waves, although neither their shape nor like their visual appearance is actually what waves are like. Like we look at those and we're like, "Hey, ocean waves," but like that's not what ocean waves look like. But also, it totally is. I love this stone texture. I wonder how much of this is procedural. It certainly could just all be. Yeah, mercury and aluminum interacting is fascinating. It essentially destroys the metal, like in a weirdly biological way. Is that a looping? Is that an intentional looping of the audio? Ooh, is that tile just a little bit off kilter? I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm imagining that. It's just the angle of the light. Echoing. Here we go. In a brutalist structure, first-person view, slow walk. This is the jam. Good ambient occlusion. Screen space looks like. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Some ducts. Weird fucking ducts. Did I jump down the hole? I don't know if I can. There we go. The stuff earlier was beautiful, but let me wander around a fucking concrete edifice and I'm in it. Yeah. Maybe some fluorescent lights. Some buttresses. I'm down. Ooh, what? This wall's fucking breathing. This wall doesn't go all the way to the floor. Series of ceiling tunnels. What's at the top of those? We're never going to get to find out. Nice bevels on those edges. I don't think this texture is procedural. I think it's an image. Mysterious gateway button, mark of the geometric symbol. So that door didn't open. Oop. Did open. There's some good edifices in Beginner's Guide. Speaking of Stanley Parable. Good noise on this too. I like that it probably doesn't come across in the stream, but there's a good just noise effect. It's especially apparent when I'm walking down this hallway. So there's a book. If you will indulge me. Architecture, Form, Space, and Order is an architecture textbook. I took a summer class, right? One of the things was architecture. I did a summer program for many years. One summer, one of the things I did there was an architecture class. And this book is almost entirely architectural diagrams. And I think that understanding architecture just a little bit is vital for anyone who's doing 3D environments, because a lot of the concepts, right here, this whole, and I am positive that Moshe Linka knows all this shit far better than I do. Yeah, here's actually the image the series I was looking for. So there's a series of pages that are all about space-defining elements and openings. So openings and space-defining elements, and being oh, if you put a door, I don't know if you can see it at all, if you put a door in a wall, if you put a door in the corner of a structure, a hole, a window, what if you put an opening on a corner so that suddenly you're disrupting the concept of what a box is, and it's all really good shit, and this game knows it, because this game is about brutalism, about how hey, when things are concrete, you can do really interesting things with. It came down a long tunnel, and right here this looked like a long window. Then we walk and it's oh no, it's a window, and there's going to be a corridor going off to the right, right? It's nope, there's no corridor going off that way. Instead, this is just a divider that you can see through but not walk through. It's all architecture, baby. These ducts that are just shadowy, like a black cat in a dark room. This nook. There's a gallery up there with some more ducts. Architecture and city design, definitely things to know and understand. The Burglar's Guide to the City is an amazing book that is both about the weirdnesses of society and also the weirdnesses of architecture, and I think should be anyone who wants to make a Hitman type game or a Thief type game where you're looking at ways of moving through a space that aren't designed by the creators of that space should check out Burglar's Guide to the City. These walls aren't breathing. Oh, I don't like that. Is that a mirror? Is it not a mirror? I don't see myself. This room is mirrored. Hmm. It's not a mirror. Because those stairs go up. That shape! That shape! What is that? Why is it so dark? Is he fighting? The Witness has some great architecture in it, although I'm not sure I agree with all the politics of that game. It's got some beautiful work, and especially with like light passing into and out of structures. Birds? It sounds like birds. Oh, am I gonna walk over this edge? Yeah. Thunk. Good. More ducks. Okay, so there's a button over there that I could step on. Or I could go this way. I love this. This bit right here reminds me of some, I mean, you couldn't do this in the Doom engine, but some Doom and Quake level design work where people did very interesting things with, like, here's a cutout through which you can see a space that has weird lighting or something in it. Oh, okay. So this leads to, is this another breathing? This one's not breathing, but it's that same like vertical bar motif. So they're just, see, I don't know. So you can see there's a hole in the world here, right there in this corner. If I back up, you can see light through it, and I have no fucking idea if that's intentional or not, because this is the sort of game that is. Okay, so this one isn't blocked off. Ooh, I like the way that the resonance of the sound changes. That is a detail that is a little bit of extra work to put in. So now we're above that space. There's the cool cutout right there. There's just fucking more to this area. Oh, which way do I keep exploring here? Do I check that button? Is this sky? No, this doesn't feel like skylight. That feels like more artificial light. Additional artificial light. Oh, now I'm up above. This is where those ducks were running. One of the things that I think everyone should do if they get a chance is to wander around an institutional building with which they are unfamiliar, especially in spaces that are not designed for... Oh, another button. Okay. Sure. Fuck it. Spaces that aren't designed for visitors. This reminds me a lot of being behind the scenes. You could be guided, I guess, if you're fucking square. But this reminds me of being behind the scenes at a theater, and how, like, there's all sorts of rooms underneath the stage and above the stage and around that are not at all apparent. I don't know what's moving. Yeah, being able to, like, look down from above through some gaps. This is like being on a theater catwalk. Okay, so stairs go down there. So these stairs here have a partner set of stairs over here that are blocked off. That's interesting. Alright. So, is it just find the 3 buttons and step on them and the next place will open? That's my guess. Does this look like 3 doors? Yeah. I just opened them in a different order than would have been typical. So what are these spaces saying? So often this sort of game can give you the impression that these are spaces not meant for humans. I think this space is relatively meant for humans, although humans that are willing to just, like, fucking fall 15 feet onto a concrete floor. But, like, all those stairs and overlooks and so on seem designed for a person to explore them. This is not a naissance, which naissance is like, whatever this city is for, it's not for any sort of people that I've ever met. Alright, down the hole. Oh. Oh. That's a good gag. Oh, it's not a hole. Oh, wait, no, it is a hole. Ooh. See, this reminds me of Cube. Cube with a Q, Q-U-B-E. I guess, what Hazard Journey of Life ended up being called? I can only remember its original name. Its in development name. It's something really philosophical. Also, that's real troubling over there. Is this game? Oh, okay. So, this game did an interesting thing, right? Because we had that really long opening sequence. What the fuck is all this? What the fuck is that? It's like a huge wire structure being lit up, like a network of frames. Oh, that's unpleasant. Am I inside that ball? I don't know, right? Like, there's no clear relation between these spaces. That's not a space designed for humans down there. And this side windows into this just fucking SCP-ass nightmare space. And then this hallway is so dark with a bright light at the end. This to me is horror. Oh, the shadows cast on the far wall there. Going back. See, okay, last window. Oof. Alright. Will we ever get to see that space? Maybe, maybe not. There's another window here. Doesn't seem to go into that space. It's just a super fucking bright void coral, or whatever the hell this stuff is. Speaking of Rosette, one of our touchstones for the Rosette Diceless covers is what's the term for that sort of architecture? It's like architecture that is never meant to be, that is concept architecture. Like, it's either not meant to be built, or anyone who did mean for it to be built is fooling themselves. Oh no, I am going into this just awful place. Speculative architecture, thank you. Oh boy. So people talk about brutalism as if it is inhuman, right? Like we're like, oh, these blank concrete walls. No, brutalism is perfectly fucking human. Like smooth concrete, we like this. This is not like. Imagine if you had to live in a building made out of just this like. I mean, actually, this is maybe evocative of rebar grids, which are inside the walls of brutalist buildings. So maybe I'm not being as insightful as I think I am when I say this is different. Oh boy, this is not pleasant. This is a thing. This is a nightmare I would have. Nope. A good maze. I like a maze with transparent walls. Not invisible walls, transparent ones. Fucking thunder noises. I am deep inside this structure. Why am I hearing thunder? Oh no, can I not fit? Okay, I can't fit through here. Ugh. Ugh. That's a bad room. Is this the same arrangement, same symbol? I guess these will connect to the same space. It's a pretty little. It's the aliasing and the shadow map evokes stairs. And is that intentional? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. I don't like that those frames being there. This game has a little, I don't know if you can tell if you're not playing it, but it's got a little hitch as you go over the edge that I really like. Like you don't just sail over a lip. It like hitches for a second as if to kind of evoke the sense of like putting your butt on the edge and putting your legs over the side and then dropping down, even though it's far quicker than that would actually happen with. I don't know what this button's going to do, and I don't know which way to look. Did nothing that I could immediately tell. It's back here. I can't see. I can't tell what these shapes are. Again, these slits into other areas. It's an architecture, baby. Another maze. Not like a hard one, but see if I can see things like that little, is that Z fighting? Is that another one of those coral things? I do wonder how much of the Z fighting is left in. Is like, oh, you know what? Fuck it, I like how that looks. So I spent some time on the Arizona State University campus in Tempe, Arizona, in the Phoenix area. And it had a few places in its brutalist buildings that had just nooks like this, where it's like, this is nice, cool concrete on either side. Just hang out in here. This is my home. It's meant for me. That hitch is good. I like that hitch a lot. See, I find this this is a pleasant space to me. These lights are a little bright. Those look at these little angles. Cute little, whatever these are called. These buttresses, probably not structurally. Back here too. Yeah. If they weren't here, that would be also very interesting. So there's so I play a lot of Warframe. AmD also plays a lot of Warframe. It's a good game. And it's got you can have dojos. They're like guild halls, clan halls, whatever. And you can design them so you can put like props and stuff in it. And the system is built to be able to, you know, put in a lot of furniture and like create a cool gathering area. There's not much to do there, but it's just like, yeah, design your own social space. Here, put potted plants, put benches, put, you know, maybe make a room that's designed after one of the enemy factions. But there are people who, yeah, the Oregon areas of Warframe has real cool architecture where it's like, what size are these people that are supposed to live here? And the answer is real tall. You have evidence of this. But there are people who make stuff in their dojo that's really, really, really elaborate. And a YouTuber I follow is one of the big name, you know, one of the people that does video tutorials and stuff on how to do this stuff. Vash Kawai, like Hawaii, but with a cow, the animal. And they recently did a video that was like, hey, here's this cathedral I did. Now let's look outside the cathedral and see like how this was constructed. Yeah, check out my Warframe article. It's good. I'm proud of it. And it's like a mess. So like imagine if like each one of these fins was not designed for that purpose, but was some other prop being reused and like extended out into the void past this wall, and the external view of this was just bristling with the unused parts of all the props. Worth checking out Bashkawai's latest video for like, what does an architectural nightmare look like? Another good, cool space, like temperature-wise cool. This feels like it would be very pleasantly chill. Again, temperature-wise. All right, hung out in this room long enough. It's a good light. I like that light. Ooh. Oh no. 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 Oh no. I don't like that. Drop down that hole. Or in the dark over here. This is lovely. Doing great stuff with shadows. Yeah, check out that article. I talk about ontological world building in Warframe, and there's a lot of fanfic in that. All the stories I wrote that are in that article. All the stories that are in that article I wrote. It's not true that it contains every story I've ever written. Another cool theater cathedral space. This feels a lot more Renaissance-y. This feels a lot more like... Who lives here? How do they find their way around? This also feels a lot like a drainage. Not drainage, like a drainage system, like a water treatment system, a sewer vaults. I guess the pipes help evoke that, but also like the way things are. Cannot fall off this edge. I tried. So, none of these doors were open before. Is this space I can access? I can't see in it. Oop. That's an edge I fell off of. Okay. Different space now. Oh ho ho. Hello. This looks familiar. What? Fuck. What is this? Where am I? This is reminding me of Manifold Garden. Oop. Not there anymore. I can move the camera, but only a little bit. What is... This is gorgeous. And strangely organic. I like the banding. That's presumably another shadow map artifact. I'm going to move my mouse very far in order to look around. There's a jump scare, I'm sorry. Okay, no. Ooh, ooh. What? It's cloth physics nonsense. What the fuck is this? Now we're just getting weird vignettes. They say right before being taken into another fucking awesome space. What's voice is that? Very Manifold Garden. This, I don't think this is actually looping. What? This is very Cairo. What the fuck is this? I don't think I want to go down that hole. I'll go down a different hole, thank you. I'll go down this hole. Bye! Oh, I can't. I don't go down that hole. Yeah. I mean, different... Regarding, like, surfaces and shaders and so on, different devs have different things they care about, right? This game is very interested in, like, what does concrete look like? What does metal look like? Well, there's very little metal in this game. Oh, look around now and move around. This game kind of reminds me of, like, the benchmarking programs you'd use to find out how good your 3D card was. I mean, I assume they still exist, but they were a big thing in, like, 2005. Or, like, some of the projects in, like, procedural 3D art that were like, we only use 16 kilobytes. Sure, I mean, you can get better at shaders and designing materials and so on, definitely. But also, like, this is a game in which it matters how the concrete looks, how the metal looks, how the weird void coral looks, how that strange cloth fabric looks. What the fuck is this? This is a completely different look now. This post-processing with the blur. I can't move, I don't think. It's unpleasantly organic. Look how just wet and shiny that terrain is, or that goop is, or whatever it is. And now we're back in an architectural space. Fuck. This game. Oh, I'm on sand. Why does my footsteps sound weird when I saw this? So, spaces up until this point have been very, very not natural. They've all been right angles. Oh, and we've got natural light, I think. At least pink light rather than white or yellow. And we suddenly have sand. We have incorporation of naturalness into this world. Wasn't there since the ocean? Since the ocean, I think. Although, I don't know, that void coral has very organic qualities. Opened part of that door. I don't know what that opened. If anything. Huh. Okay. I feel like maybe I could have done that in a sequence that would make something interesting happen, but I didn't. The natural light definitely does feel like a relief. Even though a lot of those early brutalist spaces, interior brutalist spaces, were, I found, pleasant. Like, the idea that, like, I can leave now also seems nice. I love the texturing you can get with this concrete, just like the shapes layered on top of each other, forming a texture. Good use of this. The dust entering. Like, it's not gonna be nice to be outside, but also, I bet this isn't a very, I mean, maybe it is hospitable. There seems to be a person cloud here. Fucking spaceship? It's fucking superstructure up there. Clouds. So like sand and clouds. We've got more and more natural structures that we didn't have before. Oh, those shapes up there are the same black shapes that appeared in that Is It a Mirror room. I want to go up there. Seems like a cool place to visit. There's more superstructure off in the clouds. Again, I don't know how visible it is on stream, but like in the far, far, far distance, like distant mountains, there's very large structures. I'm gonna run. Is that a planet? Is that an egg? It's probably an egg. Everything else is eggs in existence. Okay, now you can probably clearly see that structure that mirrors the structure overhead. Not mirrors, because we'd have a literal mirror here, but I am going to resist the temptation to wander off into that desert over there. In Serious Sam, there'd be like an Easter egg way out there where you get a rocket launcher and see a picture of the devs and then get attacked by a million enemies. So that's not a sun, notably, because there's a structure behind it. Those things making noises kind of like a flock of birds, but not really. Good shit. These are in concrete instead of in that weird black void material. Alright, let's step on a thing. What the shit? Something warped in. And I missed it. Oh, and now we're in a civil space. There's a lamppost. And sound of stuff. Neon. Like these are glyphs, right? Like in ways that other symbols we've seen aren't. Oh, and we're done, I guess. With that space and back in an architectural space. It's not particularly city-like. Ooh. That's a sound. Oh, hell yeah. Hello, I like you way better than that glitch mobile. I like you a little less well. You seem sharp. Makes me think of Hyperion. I think it came out that the Shrike Jinx. I think it came out that Hyperion wasn't good, or there was some controversy about the writer or something. Are those coffins? Too thin to be, but are they? Do they evoke coffins? I give this one a 6 or a 7 out of 10. 10 out of 10 is still that big wheel. Don't quote me on that. I'm only vaguely remembering something someone else said, so it might be that Hyperion's totally fine. And also, you can like problematic shit. Now we're in a Windows 95 screensaver, and I like it. Gorgeous. Speaking of doing a good job in making metal interesting, the weird roughness to this stuff. And I like the blown. I have mixed feelings about bloom often, but I like the blown out lights in this game. Okay. Had some questionable politics in 2011. This game definitely has some like demo scene vibes, which I guess connects to those like 14K games. Now we're in weird glitchy digital space. Whoa. This is a wait. This is a domestic space. Like there's fucking artifacts and shit in it. Oh, I was in some sort of VR thing. Oh. Okay, yeah. Fuck Dan Simmons then. So there's the image of the cloud person. So was I exploring a space I designed? Or was I exploring a space and taking pictures, and these are the pictures I came away with? Also, I seem to still be in a ductwork. Oh, that's a cool ass exhaust fan. Look at that. Plant. First plant I think we've seen. Gorgeous. I don't think we saw the rightmost. I don't think we've seen the rightmost or leftmost pictures there. I'm super excited for Melissa Avery MD. Yeah, playing Gravity Bone, 30 Flights of Loving. Quadrilateral Cowboy is what this most reminds me of, which I'm not sure if they'll manage to get to, but next time. Gorgeous. Cool, cool, cool. I'd explore a whole game of this. Can't run here. These other apartments? Presumably. Sort of shut off travel space. I like an ending that doesn't explain anything, but it's just like, yeah, sure, that was a VR space, I guess. For A. Thanks for playing. Thank you for making the game. It's awesome. I like that shit. Give me a weird concrete space to wander around in for a while, and I'll take it happily. So, again, Cairo without the puzzles, yeah. This has been Future Proof Plays. I'm Gregory Avery Weir. We do these about every 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Melissa will be doing Gravity Bone, 30 Flights of Loving, and maybe some of Quadrilateral Cowboy, which I think are classics that folks should check out. April 10th. Okay. And check out Tabletop Garden at tabletop.garden. It's a very good hopping in point to my actual play podcast. We've started recently The Great Molasses Flood, which is a campaign using our Rosette Diceless system that we developed at Future Proof Games. And it is about a real historical disaster that happened in 1919 in Boston. That was the Great Molasses Flood. And about a bunch of people, there are 3 people who get caught up in a disaster that has ties to class and society and war and marginalization and how they change history and how history can be changed. And there's a little bit of Dada in there. And then at Future Proof Games, we're releasing, hopefully soon, the Rosette Diceless Companion. If you go to rosetterpg.com to get more information on Rosette Diceless. And if you didn't get it in the Bundle for Racial Justice, you can pick up a copy on itch. You can get a print copy, whatever you want. And then check out exploitzeroday.com. It is our game about hacking and social justice. It's a puzzle game, and we're working on a few things for it. It's been on the back burner for a bit, but we're working on some stuff for it again. So yeah, I think that's about it. If you want news on what we're up to, you can follow us on Twitter at PlayFutureProof. You can sign up to our newsletter. We send out an email every couple months. You can subscribe to our podcast. We do an episode every couple months, alternating. And yeah, check us out in a couple of weeks. You will, I think, very much enjoy. I am very sure that I will very much enjoy Melissa's reactions to Gravity Bone and 30 Flights, and I am pretty sure that you will too. So check that out. I'll probably stream Curse of Monkey Island more. I want to, but we'll see. It's sometimes I have more energy, sometimes I don't. My health has been weird lately, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, check out tabletop.garden and futureproofgames.com. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see y'all later.